I bet you're worried.
We were worried.
We were worried about vaginas.
On March 30th and 31st at the Isabel Reader Theatre in Langford, the Vagina Monologues were performed for the first time on the West Shore. Originally created by playwright and activist Eve Ensler in 1994, the Vagina Monologues are now performed by local actors and communities around the world as a part of V-Day, a global movement that aims to end violence against women and girls.
Statistically, 1 in 3 women are going to be affected by violence in their lifetimes, but nobody ever talks about it for the most part. So there's virtually every other disease or ailment has a fundraiser, has a walk, has some voice out in the community. And for people who've been affected by violence, there is no voice, there is very little discussion around it, and yet it's incredibly prevalent.
At first, women were reluctant to talk. They were a little shy. But once they got going, you couldn't stop them.
One of the requirements of the Vagina Monologues, Eve Ensler, asks that 90% of the proceeds go to a local charity or nonprofit that is supporting women that are coming from violent situations.
So we're Pacific Centre Family Services Association, and we've been serving WestShore and Souk communities for over 40 years.
Funds raised from the Vagina Monologues and other V-Day events in Langford supported the Pacific Centre Family Services Association's Stopping the Violence program. The program provides counseling for women who have experienced abuse in an intimate relationship or were sexually abused as children.
It's about actually supporting these women, finding the strength to live as safely as they can. And whatever they choose for themselves and for their family to be safe is how we will support them.
The Vagina Monologues and V-Day events held on the West Shore this year raised over $14,000 for Stopping the Violence program. And according to Mitzi Dean, this couldn't have come at a better time.
We're facing real challenges at the moment in terms of realistic funding for our programming. The provincial government is setting mostly 0% increases in budgets, but our overheads are increasing all the time. So all the time that we're getting a crunch with our budgets, as most of our money is spent on salaries, what that impacts is actually the amount of hours of service. So the fundraising is really important. So we are immediately able to put those dollars to good use.
Not only was V-Day Langford a successful fundraiser, but it also brought the West Shore community together to talk about the issues of violence against women and girls, both globally and locally.
It's been a wonderful journey sharing with everybody who's been supporting us through the community. So it's meant that we've raised awareness about the programs, we're raising awareness about the issues. We're also making sure that people understand that that there are services and that people should be able to get support and help and to stop the violence.
I hope that people walk around with a higher sense of awareness and also more likely to have these conversations with other people about sexuality, about differences in gender and how we are socializing our young men and our young women, and just encouraging people to have those discussions and have those tough, sometimes tough conversations.
To learn more about V-Day and how you can support this global movement, visit vday.org. Pacific Centre Family Services Association offers programs and counseling for individuals and families. For more details about their services, visit them online or contact them by phone.